Happy Halloween, everyone. Today is the day where everybody can be whoever they want, whether it is a hero you idolize or if you just want to pretend to be a fictional comic book hero. It's also the month of harvest for the people that didn't know, and I bet you guys are wondering, what does this have to do with Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, these decks are done with pretending. They are serious decks that are vastly underrated inside of this format, and that can take certain aspects of the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, certain meta decks, and flip them upside down. Reap what you sow. Has that ever came to anyone's mind or forefront of their mind when I said harvest? Why? Because if you sow the seeds of these underrated decks, you will be reaping victories in no time. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, then go and destroy that subscribe button. But more importantly, go ahead and that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. Also want to take this time to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Without you guys, videos like this would not be possible. I really do appreciate every single one of you guys. And if I missed any of you guys' names, please get in contact with me. That is not of my intent. Without further ado, I present to you 5 underrated decks in this format. And just like how the Saints are underrated, you know, 6 in a row. Number 5 on this list is probably one of the most sneakiest decks around. Why? Because it has access to one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the most underrated cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And does it the best. Necross is a very powerful ritual-based deck that if left unchecked, you can actually ritual your way out of a game using monsters like Necross or Trishula to trish your opponent, banish a card from their hand, field, and graveyard, as well as Necross or Valkyrie is not only gaining you advantage, but it doesn't matter how many life points that you can pay with your certain cards, you'll still be able to be in the game because it has the ability to battle fader your opponent. The best thing about Necross is that it abuses one of the most underrated cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now to its fullest extent, Zaborg the Mega Monarch. Now, for players that don't know what Zaborg the Mega Monarch does, is that when it's tribute summoned, you can destroy a light monster you can destroy a monster on the field, and if it happens to be a light monster, cough cough himself, both players send monsters from their extra deck to the graveyard equal to that monster's level. Now, here's the best thing about Zaborg the Mega Monarch. If you so happen to tribute a light monster, you get to choose the cards in your opponent's extra deck. That can be completely devastating for most Yu-Gi-Oh! Strategies because decks are super reliant on the extra deck. The best part about Necross is not only can you send cards like Herald of Arc Light from your deck to your graveyard, allowing you to get more consistency by searching your ritual spell cards, is that Necross are all water. You can send cards like Totally Awesome from your extra deck to the graveyard to recur water resources from your graveyard to your hand. Necross is an insanely powerful deck. The ability to manipulate the opponent's extra deck and control the opponent's extra deck is not only lost on just Zaborg. They have cards like Necross of Unicorn, which is probably still too powerful from Yu-Gi-Oh!, preventing the opponent from using extra deck monster effects. This deck only gets better and better with new sets, and Soul Fusion's definitely popped off. You get cards like Extra Foolish Burial, allowing you to send Herald of Arclight from your deck to your graveyard in a pinch, and you also get the new incantation monsters that were debuted in this Extreme Force set as well. This deck is only getting better, and you guys need to take advantage because the Forbidden List could make Necross even better with either a Sharit or a Necross of Unicorn to unlimit or unban. This deck is really, really good. Number 4 on this list has always been a fair deck to the Fae of Lands. This deck is noble. It's brilliant. It is Noble Knights. Now, for people that haven't seen my Noble Knight deck profile, then go ahead and check it out because that deck is insane. Noble Knights just got some new support that pushes it over the roof. Getting cards like Heritage of the Chalice and Until Noble Arms are needed once again definitely added not only consistency to the deck, but the ability to spam out Noble Knight monsters from your deck to your side of the field. That is much needed inside of the Noble Knight strategy. And they finally got a way to summon E-Soul inside of the form of Noble Knight Yvonne. I forgot how to say his name. It's definitely not Ivan, but There he is right now. The ability to summon an extra token to your side of the field or a Noble Knight token just for being equipped gives you easy access to E-Soul without using an additional normal summon. This deck is extremely powerful, and what's even better is that every single one of the Noble Knight Exceeds just got better and better. You got Noble Knight Artigerus to be able to destroy spells and trap cards, Sacred Noble Knight King Artorigus, however you say these guys' names, to destroy monsters on your opponent's side of the field. And you also have the infamous Sacred Noble Knight King Kustinin to bounce cards on your opponent's side of the field. Now, the reason why it's so powerful is because Kustinin provides a way, an out to the Thunder Dragon archetype without destroying the cards, while Artigerus gives you massive front row destruction, and Sacred Noble Knight King Artigerus gives you front row destruction, and King Artorigus gives you back row destruction. I think I finally said its name right. Noble Knights have a very hard way to enunciate their names, but nonetheless, they're still a very powerful deck because they allow you to spam out warrior monsters to your side of the field and make some dangerous boards. So gather your arms if you are ready for a deck this powerful. Number 3 on this list, we've actually waited so long for this deck to be a competent strategy. It's actually been since the XC era that this deck has been out and hasn't made any impact on our Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame since. Fast forward to 2018, not only did the Soul Fusion set provide support, but the Legendary Dragon set gave it enough support to put it over the hump. But still, as an underrated deck, Photon Galaxy is extremely powerful. Being able to make 2 or 3 negates on your first turn or any given time during a turn is pretty powerful. Now you have your Galaxy Eye Soul Flare Dragon that's not only a Link to Arrow monster that's pretty easy to summon with arrows pointing down and gives you recovery to your graveyard, it also has the ability to disrupt your opponent's special summon monsters. You can follow that up with Cyber Dragon Infinity, a great way to snatch your opponent's Thunder Dragon Colossus, but also provide free negates to your side of the field. It also can make rank 8s pretty well, so Titanic Hope Harbinger, Titanic Hope Harbinger? That monster right there gives you a lot of negation and the ability to make your opponent attack first. But a highly underrated card is number 90 Galaxy Photon Lord. The ability to negate your opponent's monster effects and search Galaxy cards for free and either attach it as a material or add it to your hand is extremely potent. I think that this deck has some insane recovery and searchability plays as well. The ability to have so many search cards, whether it's just Photon Orbit or whatever that card wants to be, or even the new other card that I can't think of. He's right here. He's the search card that searches your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Ironically enough, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is actually a powerful card. I never thought that would have been a thing, but this deck can actually make huge attack monsters to just dominate your opponent. Monsters that are strong enough to either OTK or put a control aspect to it. You better watch out for those Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon decks because they have definitely stepped their game up. Oh yeah, and they have Photon Sanctuary. That's searchable to them, and it's free. The disrespect for this deck is real. Why? Because I think it's easily a highly competitive tier 2 deck at worst. At best, it makes the tier 1 decks better. And I still don't understand. It has the best boss monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Dinos are that deck. The boss monster is still at 3. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, being able to flip all your opponent's monsters face down before they can Link Summon or Exceed Summon or Synchro Summon. Also with the ability to attack every single one of your opponent's monsters each. That is powerful with a 3,500 body and ease of summoning. Why? That alone should put Dinos over the top. That card should be asked to be forbidden on how powerful it is. Now, there are so many different variants of Dino. It is insane. There's the new Dino Wrestler build that came out in Soul Fusions. It's amazing. There's the Lost World variant. There's the Thunder Dragon variant that was introduced in Soul Fusions as well. That's insane. As well as the True King variant. This deck is kind of hard to side against because you have so many great variants of this deck that can dominate the opponent. Ironically enough, the Thunder Dragon Dino version could be seen as a better version over the pure Thunder Dragon because it has the ability to out pure Thunder Dragons. I think that Dino can either OTK your opponent really, really fast or control the board and the aspect or the pace of the game to dominate. It's a very powerful deck and it's heavily slept on. It's just one of those decks that just seems to pop here and now, kind of like Burning Abyss, until people start to realize that, yeah, this deck is here to stay. Before we get into number one, I just wanted to say that there are a lot of underrated decks right now. It's pretty much an open format where almost any deck can compete as long as you have the specific tools, searchability, accessibility, and dropping powerful boss monsters. I need you guys' help. I need y'all to post down below in the comment section what decks do you think are underrated in your experience with them or against them. I really do appreciate you guys, and I love reading your comments. But number one on this list is probably one of the most disrespected decks of all time, outside of Dino. Now, the reason why I say this is because this deck has been extremely powerful and has been lurking in almost every single meta since, but doesn't get the recognition that it deserves, unlike Dino. Dino actually gets a little bit of a following. This deck, kinda. Paleozoic is very, very good. It is an anti-meta deck that can OTK. You can't like make up stuff like that. The ability to abuse trap tricks to its finest. You can play 30 trap cards, have them all searchable, and summon monsters off of those trap cards. So essentially you're not even playing 30 trap cards. You're playing 20 monster disruptions that are monsters and then 20 trap cards. And then Imperial Order because you don't play any spell cards. The deck is good, ladies and gentlemen. I can't speak on how powerful this deck is. In the OTK base, I mean, you can actually summon enough monsters to deplete your opponent's life points to 0. The fact that the deck is immune to most hand traps is also another great thing. People play or tend to play at least 3 to 10 hand traps in your deck. And when playing Paleo, you can legitimately make 25% of their deck almost moot. This deck is extremely powerful, and I haven't even started to talk about how totally awesome can not only negate the activation of cards, destroy them, it can set them to your side of the field for later use. I think that Paleozoic should be played a lot more because not only did it top the YCS that was previous to this video, it also has the ability to top so much more if people actually got behind the bandwagon. Now, thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I want you to post down below in the comment section what you guys think are underrated decks, as well as your experience with them or against them. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day, like I am.